Have you seen a person who is a vegetarian and still can lift 550 kilos? Hello everyone,
I am Rahul Devdhar.
I am Prasanna Naidu and you are listening to the Right Views podcast. Okay, so a vegetarian or a vegan or ghaspus in that terminology, if we can say. So, can a ghaspus eating person be so strong to lift so much? So, this guy named Patrick, who is a bodybuilder in Iran, Iranian born German Armenian. So, he's a bodybuilder and he's completely on a plant based diet. Okay, and he promotes veganism, and in 2015 he lifted 560 kilos, 550 or 560 around that, and walked. Okay, that's known as a yoke walk, and that was a record. So how is that possible? Because from usual what people know, veganism and vegetarian people are quite weak than those people who eat non-veg. Okay, no, people who the non-vegetarian diet gives you more nutrients and more energy than a vegetarian and plant-based diet. Then how is this possible? What are your views, Rahul sir?
Actually, that's a very good question, and that these are some of the lingering myths which continue to impact um, our modern day discourse. But effectively, like we remember Javagal Srinath, who is a fast bowler, was also vegetarian. We know many of the vegetarians who were strong men, and there is enough evidence now to promote this. But essentially, what is happening is that we have forgotten that the main focus is the diet, human diet itself, and not what is convenient or what is important for an industry, food industry perspective. So basically, now for example, I will tell you that an apple a day keeps a doctor away is a very famous marketing saying, which is probably known everywhere across the world.
Hmm.
But it is not known that actually this tagline was invented after there was a bumper crop in American apples, and they needed some way to get these apples off into the market. So there is no scientific evidence to prove that actually, if you have an apple every day, you will keep the doctor away. So there is
Hmm.
no such evidence to that effect. But it is usually the marketing companies who come up with these kinds of programs, and their success of these programs impacts human diet in a very different way. Now, sugar is a very dominant example, and sugar has been mainstay of our diet for the last, I think, 80 to 100 years. And before that, there were sugar derivatives. So I'm talking about refined sugar, not the
Hmm.
sugar derivatives like jaggery, but refined sugar is what I'm referring to.
Hmm.
And that is now being questioned, and now it is suspected that refined sugar may be our body's worst enemy. Then before this there was a revolution which said that fat is bad, and now it seems the fat is good. So it's a fad which
They have various theories like there is good fat, there is bad
there is
fat,
good fat.
then this is good. Yeah.
Yes. So this keeps changing, but the bottom line is that human we have to look at what is human diet constitutes. What do we consider as the primary diet of humans? And if we look at the
Hmm.
survival of human species, it was because that we have multiple sources of diet. So our whatever digestive system is such that we can digest. We are descended from monkeys, so we can definitely digest fruit and fruit related diet. But we can also digest meat and meat related products. We can digest vegetables and unprocessed green plant based. uh, foods. So we have multiple sources of diets, and that's why we are successful in surviving. So that is the genesis of our diet. That we have a variety of diets, and we have been successful in surviving in variety of environments. Like for example, you will not find a lion living in European countries because lion cannot survive. Now its diet is possible. It's possible to have a diet in same diet lion can have in Europe, but it cannot survive. It cannot survive in other locations. Similarly, some animals can survive in the geographical dispersion of human beings was also possible because of their dietary variety that our system can handle. So our system can handle a different variety of diet. The question really is what is the best diet for our system? So there are two
Exactly.
different
Exactly.
questions. So one question is what diets can our system handle to variety of degree of success. So for survival, we can handle anything. Like from meat to plants to insects, we can handle multiple things. But what is the best
Exactly.
diet
And
for
when
our?
the question is about survival, you have to eat anything, whatever is in front of you, because you have to survive. But when that survival is taken care of, okay, when you have a choice, then obviously you must choose which is best for your health, best for your body. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we are discussing this actually because this came to my mind as an interesting topic. As I recently saw a documentary named "The Game Changers" available on Netflix. Okay, so that is an. I mean, I was just awestruck watching those facts and scientific studies. They start with this amazing, interesting fact that Roman gladiators who are known as fighters, these people were vegetarians. Okay, so whatever comes to your mind about fighters, ancient fighters like from Rome or even from Indian or Indic history, it will be like they'll be eaters. For example, in India it's like kshatriyas, they are fighters, they are meat eaters. Okay, that is one conception. Okay, whenever we talk
Hmm.
about kshatriya, it's like that. But these were also fighters, and they were like the scientific studies, and they have come to the conclusion that they were mostly vegetarian. Their diet consisted of mostly vegetarian diet. Okay, so then they move on to different studies, research and all, and they interview many athletes, weightlifters, bodybuilders who are completely on plant-based diet, and they state that their performance has improved much better once they change their diet from meat-based to plant-based. So coming to back to the main essence which Rahul sir was talking about, that we must actually eat what is good for us. Okay, especially when the survival is taken care of. We are not in a jungle where we have to think about what to eat. Otherwise, you don't find anything eatable easily, so you have to hunt, you have to go here and there searching for, because you don't know which plant is good for you, which plant is poisonous. So those questions are not here. You just step out of your house, you have supermarkets, you have vegetable markets, you have all kinds of markets. Marketing is done, and you go and just buy it, obviously whatever you afford, and you can eat it. Another important aspect here we can talk about is the biology. Okay, so there are very these facts obviously everyone knows, but people doesn't pay much attention to it. Like our teeth. Okay, human teeth is not actually made for meat eating. For example, if you see the animals which eat meat, they have different kind of teeth to so that they can cut the flesh easily and then swallow it. Okay, they don't chew it much.
No, that is no, that what you're referring to is right, but like the thing is, this is what is the predominant mistake that people make while making these studies. That first of all, what happened is that If we start eating raw meat, we will have a different kind of lifestyle.
Hmm.
Okay, and we'll have different kind of physiology, like the teeth and all that, to help with that kind of, like monkeys have very sharp inside, canine teeth,
Hmm.
which is what other animals also have. So our canine teeth have become reduced over time. So we evolved from monkeys. If you go and see a monkey, a small monkey also, it has got very sharp teeth. It can, because monkeys are meat eaters. Monkeys are not, monkeys do eat meat also, fish or some other products also they eat, but they eat raw, and that's a separate kind of physiology that they have developed. But any, humans have developed these kinds of teeth which are evolved, which is, our teeth are quite good if you compare with ancients. Ancients meaning not like Egyptian mummies or something, but like way before we started cooking.
Hmm.
The minute cooking came into picture, our teeth started improving.
Hmm.
So cooking is a very big positive in which lots of things changed. Now we can't examine, because we have invented cooking. Cooking is an invention. It's not a, so it's not something like, what is natural. So because of cooking, we can now process many other things. Like birds can process these grains. If you were not cooking, it was very difficult to eat rice or wheat.
Yes.
Without cooking, it is not possible.
Hmm.
So now, once cooking came into being, we can start accessing these sorts of grains. We can start accessing other leaves, which normally cannot be
Hmm.
consumed, but after cooking, you can consume them. So those things are possible. So what happens is that our physiology evolved from monkeys, which had its own variety and whatever diet they had.
Hmm.
And even all different types of monkeys also have different kinds of diets. So it's not like the gorillas have the same diets as orangutans or something like that. They also have different diets. Some eat insects also. We don't eat insects.
Hmm. No, even
So
humans, there are certain tribes which eat insect. They make insect chutney and
yeah,
all.
yeah, that is, no, that is true. We can eat, but the thing is, we don't eat
Yeah,
it. That
usually
the
we don't.
point
Huh.
is, ki, huh. So there are variety of things that we can eat, which is an advantage. And after cooking, we can eat much more. That is another advantage. So our assessment of what is good for our body
Hmm.
should come from a different perspective. And what happens is, ki, when you start doing study, you can't do study, like 2 days and say, ki, okay, this is good for you. The thing is, ki, you have to have a lifestyle which is like a, let's say, a person who was born of parents who are plant eaters, and then he himself carries on, or she herself carries on that lifestyle throughout her life. And then you examine her, take, or him or her, and have this population which is exclusively on plant based diet, and see their changes in their body, and what kind of changes happen because of them. Then you have a person who is exclusively on a meat based diet
Hmm.
and has, progressively done so, and then compare and contrast, and it takes a long time. These are longitudinal studies which take over 2 3 lifetimes. So average human person lasts like 90 100 years. So this should be done for at least 200 250 years, then you will understand. And in the meantime, food also doesn't is not the same.
Yeah.
It also keeps evolving. So the bottom line where we, you can draw from this is that, yeah, unless we do a proper study, we can't really conclude anything effectively. So what can we do? We have to take a step back and stop analyzing human body as a machine.
Hmm.
You have to start analyzing human body as a complex system. So complex system is like a weather. So can you predict the weather? No, you can't predict the weather. We can say ki most likely this is the thing, and we can act accordingly. So that's how we should do. And a human body is something similar, because there are lots of hormones, there are lots of chemicals being released. Suppose you are in high physical labor activity,
Hmm.
like I'm telling you example of the, in olden times, these were the people who worked on the ships,
Hmm.
seamen, huh? So they used to carry these luggage from the ship to the dock, and dock workers,
Hmm.
the dock, they would carry it back. They were used to handling heavy weights. Now, what happens is that when you do extra work, you have lots of uh, energy requirement.
Yeah.
Now, this energy requirement is cannot be substantially fed with like a X kind of diet.
Hmm.
For example, let's say if you eat 1 kg rice, you will get X amount of energy. So they need lots more energy in a smaller quantity.
Hmm.
Like amount of food should be small, but the energy content, energy density of that food should be high. So you know what these hamals and these dock workers, they used to prefer, at least in Mumbai docks you can see in the olden times, that they have their morning breakfast is jalebis and milk,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they eat like half a kilo jalebi, a pav kilo jalebi, and they are quite lean. I mean, they are not like putting on weight, if you see, because they can offtake that much energy.
Yes.
So that is their physiology and their requirement. So Ayurveda is our benchmark because that has a sort of a culmination of a lot of research which we have lost, but we have the findings.
Hmm.
And Ayurveda says that there are different types of diets for different types of people. So basically, if you are going into something which is intellectual and sedentary, then you should have a sattvic diet. So sattvic diet means you should try to avoid masalas, and you should have bland food, and you should have as much plant-based minimalistic diet as possible. You should eat only once a day or twice a day only. So that is their prescription. Then if you are a king or something, you have much more training needs, you have physical needs, you have wide variety of needs. Then you're not a king, but you're in fighting.
Hmm.
Then you have what is a rajasic diet, which is a wide, it has masalas and all these sorts of things, which is flavorful diet. So if you are a sattvic diet, you are not allowed to have onion, garlic, and all this, like a Jain diet. Okay,
Hmm.
it's like a no masalas, no. It's a bland, basic diet. Whereas if you go to Rajasi, you're allowed to have all these masalas. You're allowed to have ginger, garlic, all these things you're allowed to have. And if you're a king, then you are supposed to have food from all your provinces. That is Chanakya's addition to this concept, which says, just to understand what is going on in every country. So he may eat or may not eat, that's a different thing, but he is taking a bite out of all the places, whether everything is going on good or not. So this is the Ayurvedic concept of diet. And then what they say is that if Ayurveda says that the whole premise of human welfare is your diet.
Hmm.
So all your illness,
Hmm.
source of your illness and your chronic diseases, basically, it stems from your diet. And you control the diet, and then you can manage or you can eliminate your illnesses. And that is the concept which Ayurveda has promoted. The idea here is that you have these chronic diseases which are autoimmune disease, like human immune system, our own immune system attacking our own body. So like cancer, like diabetes are also, they are not caused by any microbes or any external thing, but they are caused by imbalance of our own chemical composition, you can call
Yeah,
it.
and these are very common now in each household. You'll have a diabetic
Exactly.
patient, a high BP.
Yes, hypertension, all these, psychological effect also.
Hmm.
And what Ayurveda says that if you have any doubt of these kind of things, you go to a sattvic diet, which is completely bland. Have it 2 times a day, so that your system gets cleansed. So that's a goal-oriented diet. Now, if you are a sportsman, okay, so you're a sportsman meaning you need that much quantity of nutrition
Hmm.
and ability to recover. Now, what is recovering your system? It may be vitamins, it may be minerals, it may be, so all those things should come to you. Now, in which form they can come to you? They can come to you from directly plants, They can come to you from water also. They can come to you from meat or whatever. But the concept you have to understand is that wherever it comes from the same source,
Hmm.
which is ultimately,
Plant.
like plant
Hmm. So
and
meat is
of the earth.
nothing but a middleman, acting as a middleman.
No, it's a concentration device. So, for example, you eat a cow, let's say, if a 100 kg cow represents 500 kg of grain.
Hmm.
I'm just giving a random.
Huh.
So, it's not like that. I'll tell you, there is a complication, but this is the logic that is given for eating meat. What is the meat eater's logic? The meat eater's logic is this: this gets concentrated. So the logic stops there. It doesn't go, if then lion eats the cow, right?
Hmm.
So you should eat the lion because that is super concentrated.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work like that. It's because it's not true. That's not how it works. The thing is that every source of, you basically need proteins, you need carbohydrates, you need minerals, you need vitamins, you need vitamin D also.
Hmm.
Now, vitamin D nobody is going to give you. You have to go in the sun and then you will get it. So the question is where you get it in the best quantity. So every fruit has everything. Okay, it's not like every food item will have some bit of everything because it is also alive. It also needs many of these things, not in those quantities. You might need 10 grams of protein, 10 grams of carbohydrates, 2 grams of vitamin A, 2 grams of vitamin B. Plant may have some different combination. Plant B might have better combination. If you eat an groundnut, it will have another combination. So you have to eat wide variety of diet
Hmm.
within plant also. If you eat, let's say, you can control the logic in the other way. If I only eat rice, what will happen? Of course my body will become imbalanced.
Hmm.
So the whole concept is you have to balance the complex system, like which is like a weather system. You can't predict how your body will react. So first instance, what Ayurveda says is that you balance everything. Don't do overboard on anything. There are some people who say ki every day I have to have one peg. Without that I cannot sleep. That is not allowed. Okay. Anything in extreme is not allowed. So how to balance it? You can balance it on plant-based diet, meat-based diet, only exclusively meat. But you have to design your diet based on your need, your goal, your
No, and the point is, the more simpler the food you eat is, the it is more simpler for your body to digest it. Because
exactly,
this point people didn't don't get is, your body is nothing but a chemical factory, you can say.
exactly,
So whatever food physically you can see, it is going inside, breaking it down, and from breaking into many chemicals, and then getting absorbed into your blood, and this that various things, and then what is not digested comes out.
exactly,
Okay, so it must be very easy to break down.
exactly,
When will it break down easily? When it will be water rich. And plant based food is mostly nahi, plant based food is water rich. Okay, and there is one thing, I don't know, it's a saying or something, that you are a part of earth. Our body is a part of earth, and earth is 70% water, 70-72%, right? And what our body is also is around 70 to 72% water. So obviously what food you eat must be water rich, because it will easily get break down, then easily get digested and comes out.
that is no doubt that is that is not a dispute at all. But you have to remember that every body is different. Like, I'll tell you an example. Jordan Peterson is a fellow who is commentator on the YouTube, and a professor in Canadian University. He and his daughter had lots of problems. His daughter had diabetes from birth, and she had a lot of other issues, which completely went away when she completely switched to only beef based diet. So she has completely beef based diet. Jordan Peterson also himself switched to beef based diet, and a lot of his problems went away. Now why is that? So there must be some reason. First of all, you need to investigate his physiology. What is going on? What is the issue there, and why is particular food that he is eating causing a lot of problem. So that is a question. And if you ask generally to a normal person, forget normal person, if you ask an expert, dietitians, how the dietary system works, they are unable to understand this. So they don't know how actually what food creates what, triggers what. So now there was a big research going into gut bacteria, which Ayurveda is very particular about having a proper bacterial culture within our tummy. So we have this curd, which is curd is basically bacteria. Yogurt and curd. Yogurt is based on yeast, and curd is based on bacteria. So if you have curd, you try to nourish and generate and keep the gut bacteria in good shape. Then your digestion needs get better because the bacteria digest that food for you, and you take care of the bacteria. If you don't take care of the bacteria, if you eat too many antibiotics, that gut bacteria goes away. So you have to replenish
Hmm.
those. So now that concept has come back. So now they realize you have to nourish that bacteria. So within your body also, everything you can't digest, but the kind of bacteria you have in your body, they help you digest some food. Now if you remove those bacteria, then you try to have, so this gut bacteria is very good at digesting milk products. So if you remove those
Hmm.
bacteria and try to eat milk or milk-based products, you can't digest them, and you create a reaction. Your skin has a reaction. You are not able to, obesity, all sorts of weird reactions. But the problem is not that. Problem is that your whole system is not balanced. That is the thing. So my other question is, if you have a simplistic food requirement, why don't we eat baby food all the time? These baby food Farex, I don't know, Nestle's have this food, right? I love it. You know, why don't we eat that? It's nutritious. It has got all the vitamins. It's complete. It's made clean because it's baby friendly, right? So everything is taken care of. It is in package. It's easy to digest. Everything is there, but we don't eat that all the time. Can we do it all the time? It comes in various flavors also. Strawberry, mango, this, that. We can change the flavor, but can we eat it all the time?
Because it is designed in a different way, considering the nutrients which a baby will need.
No,
We need a lot
no,
more and a
no.
different kind of.
We might need quantity may be different, but we
Hmm.
can make whatever baby food wherever we make baby food, we can make adult food also, no, same way. Definitely we can definitely have that, right? Like
Huh.
nothing is as best. The best thing is baby food, right? People nowadays use baby cream. Baby cream क्यों भाई? Because वो baby के लिए है तो मेरे को क्यों नहीं, like that. So we can have baby food, but the thing is कि nutrition is one part of diet, but other part is palatability and satiety, meaning how full you feel. You can eat much lot of food and still not feel full. जैसे हमारे इधर one of the rural villages, there was a big wedding. This is, I'm talking about 1980s, and they were having lunch, and the lunch was being served, and they were continuing to eat, and they were continuing to eat, and people were surprised. Keep us, what is going on? These people, why are they not stopping eating? How much can they eat? So then they said, until you give curd rice, we don't think that the food is over. So you bring curd rice, then our food is over.
Yeah, I think in Maharashtra it is called as Shevatsa Ghas.
So the thing is, it till it, they could eat and digest all of it. There's no problem
Hmm.
for them. But they need that last thing. Once that is given, then now it is complete. So now what happens is that this must have been a sort of a digestive system makeup of the location, and that is what is, it's not just you can get the nutrition, but you need to have that mental strategy. Now my food is over, I am satisfied. So
Hmm.
after,
No, that point I completely agree that the geographical location matters a lot, because I had seen few videos where people were, I don't exactly remember the name of the place, but they were in a hilly area, like where vegetation is very rare. Icy hilly region, mountainous region. I think maybe Afghanistan, somewhere there, Kashmir border, etc., somewhere like there, some place like that. So there, they are based on yak. Okay, they use yak for every thing. They drink yak milk, then they make different products from that milk only.
Correct.
uh, they, and then they use it in their food, and also then when the yak is of no use, they slaughter it and then they eat their meat also, because but then they have very minimum choices. Okay,
Exactly.
exactly as we were discussing about
Exactly. So
survival.
that is the survival diet. And survival diet, if you are in a situation where you have to survive, you will eat anything.
Yeah, exactly.
That is not a problem. The problem is what you have.
Even I remember a case. I think it was a real case. Yes, where few people were lost their way in sea, and they were in a boat.
Hmm.
3 4 people were there, and they were lost, so they had no option but to eat some, to survive, obviously. So they started finding fishes and all, but they were not able to catch much. Whatever they caught, they distributed and ate. But after some time, there was one guy who was not well
They ate him.
because of
Yeah.
eating.
That is a
Yeah, so they.
that is a fictional. There's one fictional story on that also.
But this is a real case also, and then they were convicted for murder, and then I think the judgment was overturned, something like that. So that's a clear example, good example of survival.
So
So you'll even eat a human.
yeah, that is one. That is actually, so survival is one aspect of diet. But what has happened today is actually, because we deviated from a good diet. A good diet is not a survival diet, a normal diet, and we have deviated to something which is what Ayurveda calls Rajasic diet, but we have taken it to extreme. So our diet is
Hmm. And you know what I know from about the Ayurvedic diet and all, it's not like they recommend ki you must have Rajasic diet.
no, no,
It's like
they don't recommend. They don't.
their recommendation is sattvic only.
Yeah, but the
Like
thing
you
is,
have to go to that, but people won't listen. So they have different options. Okay, then you can go to this diet
no,
instead of tamasic diet.
no. The thing is, ki the diet also, the recommendation is not whether you have to have a Rajasic diet, but when you have a Rajasic diet, you should have a balanced Rajasic diet. So you should have, while you are having a lot of flavorful stuff, you should also have something to neutralize those flavors. So, for example, we have achar. Okay, now achar is because lot of digestion begins at the mouth, saliva level. So now
Exactly.
what happens is the saliva is, if the food is tasty, you will automatically salivate and you will get that
Hmm.
flavor, you will have that saliva which will help digest the thing. But what if you don't have that saliva? How will you trigger those salivary glands? And yeah. So we have those achar. So you can trigger
Hmm.
your salivary glands. Then you have curd, which is for gut bacteria. Then we have some other things which can neutralize. Suppose you eat too many acidic stuff, so you should have something which neutralizes the acid. So you will have that in your diet. So all this, all in all, if you have the balanced diet, then you will probably be okay. And that's what their objective was. If you are having flavorful diet, at least have a balanced diet so that you don't get out with the stomach ache and unbalanced physiology, so that you will end up with diabetes, which they would not be calling diabetes, of course, but they would have like multiple uh, disorders which you are not able to trace. So whatever it is, you have to have a study of that. And my point is, because we are deviating from the good diet, so what we will do, we will have only chapati and achar. Okay, we will forget that it has to be balanced. You're having something which is unbalanced and heavy on acid or heavy on the bile aspect of it. then you need to balance it out. That aspect we'll remove. We'll have कि हम लोग सिर्फ पिज्जा खाएंगे, उसके बाद उसमें ऑरिगेनो जोरदार डालेंगे, उसमें और चिली डालेंगे और खाएंगे हम. And then what about balancing it? उसके लिए कोक पियेंगे, which is not a balancing, which is actually exaggerating it. So कि अच्छा, then your system goes for a toss and you worry, and then you end up with a thing like obesity, and that also is not understood. So my point is that dietitians don't even understand that what causes obesity, and that's where there is a big dispute in Maharashtra about Divekars and Dikshits. So there is a Divekar diet, which Divekar diet says that you should eat regularly for
Eat local.
eat local. No, eat local is not part of the diet because that is actually the what can you eat is the question. So, but eat regularly, like 2 3 hours. You eat less, but eat regularly, and then after 6:30 or 7:30, you don't eat.
Yeah.
Whereas Dikshit diet says that you can eat anything, but you have to eat only 2 times a day. You choose which 2 times. You can choose ki morning 7 o'clock and night 8 o'clock or whatever. You choose your 2 times, but you can eat anything in that 2 times, and you have to eat within 50 minutes. So once you start eating, you have to only eat for 50 minutes and less. Whatever quantity you want to eat, it doesn't matter, because that is dependent on a research which says that your whole physiology depends on how much insulin is created, and insulin is created in batches apparently, and each batch, once it is created, the next batch can be created after 50 minutes or 1 hour or something like that. So if you are if you start eating, insulin is created, so you eat, the insulin takes care of whatever it is, and then if there is always insulin in your blood, then it creates a problem for your body, because your body needs to handle insulin, so it has created a obesity issue, because insulin is like a switch which forces your body to use the recent food, not the old food. So what to do with the old food? Old food need to be stacked somewhere, so always recent food is used, and because insulin is there and recent food is not there, so you feel hungry all the time even if you're fat. If insulin stops, your body will automatically, which is our default switch, to consume old food, which is fat, and your fat will get depleted. Now they have conducted experiment over 45,000 people over a period of 8 years, and they do on WhatsApp also. They do your blood test and all that you have to do, and the person Dikshit himself has done like 43 tests every day to understand how it works, whether that research is valid or not. And now they're expanding it to someone, other 100,000 or something people to understand whether it works or not. But the only thing is that it is still research in progress. You have to understand that it
Yeah.
is research in progress. You can try it, but it is research in progress. And this is the obesity aspect of it. How much food and how eating, what quantity of food and how much you eat, how does it affect you? That is what he is dealing with. And what to eat is another aspect, and you can eat anything from baby food to plant-based diet to exclusively meat-based diet to only insect-based diet. You can eat anything, but you have to understand that the simpler the better is the general. The less complex the better. Simpler food is always best. So glucose you can directly put in your blood. Why? Because it's the simplest. Your body understands it very well. You can quickly process it. It's okay. The easier food it is, the better it is for body to process. But refined sugar is next in glucose. If you eat only refined sugar, will you survive? No, you need balanced diet. So there are lots of
Yeah.
complexities, and people treat.
But still, people drink Coke a lot.
People drink Coke. I also drink Coke, so I should not be complaining. So the thing is, the point. No, the point is that lot of times people confuse what is good for your body versus what you want to eat. Like many people want to drink. It's not good for their body, but they want to drink. Now that is, you can do it, but remember that it is not good for your body. Nobody is stopping you, but remember that it is creating an imbalance in your biological system. and there needs to be a countering of that imbalance in some way, and that is not known. What people are doing is people are taking a risk without knowing they are taking a risk, just because they feel good.
Without knowing and knowing that it is good.
That is particularly related to alcohol, but you know, that is a separate that is a separate topic altogether. But what happens is that people, when they have a view of eating something particular, you should always remember that everything has an effect, and whether that effect is good or bad depends on what kind of body you have. If you have a body which can easily process some things, then you need to eat that rather than try to do something else. Like, just because you're born in Kerala or Bengal, you can't say, "Ki, I have to have fish." That's not how it goes. It depends on how your body is. If your body is designed for fish, you can have fish. If you're not designed for fish, then don't have fish. That's the whole point. And always simpler sattvic food. The advantage of sattvic food is that sattvic food is good for everyone because it has no unbalanced nutrition. So you can go to sattvic food. That's why that is the ideal state recommended, because it is neutral for everyone, so anyone can have it.
And actually, after this discussion and all, what comes to my mind is every kind of research by the biggest doctor and all that stuff is they are just hinting whatever it's already there in our sattvic diet in Ayurvedic texts, which is already there and which ancient wisdom already knows. It's just that they don't have theorems and research, evidence-based research to show that is the
No, because
best
that
thing.
was destroyed. See, again, we tend to
Yeah,
believe
that's
that
that.
there is no research, but there are a lot of research, but multiple things got lost, and now we are left with the findings, but the documents behind that are missing. Maybe we'll find them somewhere. Some fellow in India must be hiding them somewhere, and then he will come out. "Yeah, I have them since many days."
Hmm.
Raghi
Yeah,
mein
yeah,
pada hai,
true. That
something like that.
it's like the Arthashastra was discovered in 1904.
Exactly. So,
Yeah,
and the point is that many of these explorations are not complete. So let's not jump to any conclusion ki whether this is, like, milk is good, milk is not good, milk is poison. Then they go give what the fat. Fat means death, and then cholesterol. Then now the cholesterol has become good cholesterol, bad cholesterol. Then they become saying ki you should have apple without the skin. They say, who eats apple without the skin? Then say, no, no, no. Skin is the main thing in the apple. So now you eat apple, only the skin, but not the apple. They say, who is doing all that? Then egg white and egg yolk is the biggest controversy. You can only eat egg white.
yeah, exactly.
My God, people are
To be to be very frank, I am very lean. Not very lean, but yeah, I am lean. And this people are very kind of envious, or some people are also jealous of me because I eat. I mean, I have stopped eating eggs for a while because I am trying to follow the Sattvic diet. Trying, but yeah. So I whenever I used to eat eggs, I used to eat the whole egg. Okay, and very fondly. Okay, and if I can, I used to eat multiple eggs. Plus, uh, daily I like to eat sweets.
Hmm.
So those heavy sweets, which people think like it's heavy, and it is heavy, like with made in ghee with lots of nuts, kaju, and all.
Hmm.
I like to eat it every day, and I eat it every day. And I want it after every meal, like after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner. If you give it, I'll have it.
Hmm.
Okay, and I usually eat it every day, but still I'm lean, and that's why people are quite envious about me because they want me to get fatter, but I won't get fat even after eating all this stuff.
No,
And
but
people who don't eat,
no, I will tell you there is another reason. There is good point that you've brought in. There is also a reason the psychological impact also happens.
yeah, yeah,
Especially
true.
because you're not married. Once you get married, you will automatically become.
That's a big debate. I mean, and you must have another person who is married, and then you must have a debate on that. But let's skip that for this
No, but
discussion.
to for due disclaimer, I was always above my weight even before I was married, and after I'm married also I'm above my weight. So that has not affected me. But I'm saying that many people believe कि, once you get married you put on weight, which is also possible.
Actually, it's like you get a tummy. I mean, which is hanging outside, but you don't have it. Fortunately, I have seen you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So, but yeah, the point is, as you said, that the research is going on and it takes a lot of time. But still, people want to. I don't know why. Why don't we make it simple? Because this it's very simple. Okay, the more simpler diet you have, it's more better for your health. Okay, and what basically people want is they want to be a healthy person. Okay. Another point comes is, okay, but this Sattvic and all, vegan and all, they don't provide you much nutrients, much protein and all. So how will I do bodybuilding and stuff, etc. That's why I recommend you all to watch that documentary. And now you can also do your personal research
Yes,
and know
and
that even after following that vegan diet or Sattvic diet, you can build your body and even become a strongest person if you want. There are alternatives available for each and everything. Even for meat, there are alternatives now. Like plant-based meat is being produced, and it's up for sale. Yeah, you were saying something?
I was saying that people go to the gym to get the protein powder. People
Hmm.
don't
Huh.
want that steroid things, additives. So those are absolutely damaging. I think we should focus. And the another important thing is that vegan diet or any plant-based diet or any nutritious diet, which is basically anything that you home cook, is difficult. It's not convenient. You have to prepare, you have to cook your food, you have to make it. It's not easy. What people want is convenient diet. कि जाते जाते वड़ा पाव खा लिया. So वड़ा पाव से तुमको न्यूट्रिशन मिलेगा नहीं वो जो तुमको चाहिए ऐसा.
No, no, I agree to some extent. It's like what you want exactly, what product and all, that is not conveniently available. But actually, if you see, the diet is easily available because it's mostly about vegetables and fruits.
No,
That is very easily available.
no, no, that is not the point. See, vegetables and fruits are easily available, but to bring it to like वड़ा पाव रोड पे मिलता है.
No, हाँ तो फ्रूट मिलता है ना, वेजिटेबल्स नहीं खा सकते, चलो
हाँ.
वड़ा पाव की जगह एक बनाना खा सकते हो, एप्पल खा सकते हो.
No, that is actually that is what people should be doing. But what happens is this, people look at convenience. Okay, convenient foods, which is Maggie. Maggie एकदम सस्ता.
Okay, I give you more options. Okay, you don't want to eat fruits or vegetables. There are juices option. Okay, juice is a very good option, and juice stalls you have easily. It's very convenient.
No,
So
you can
if you
if you
find
choose.
if you find alternatives, if you find convenient alternatives, you will get it. It's
Exactly.
like that.
And if you choose to sort of push yourself to find these options, you will get these options. But the thing is, you have to make that effort, and that is what these companies are avoiding, because companies are making the reverse effort. They are making an effort कि जाते जाते you pick up vada pav or burger like this. So that.
For example, just a live example. Okay, as I was trying to follow this kind of sattvic diet, I was searching. I found out there are many companies and all for vegans and all. There is a company named Good Milk which is making all dairy products plant based, not from the dairy, and there are many other companies. So it's quite difficult, not difficult, like we have to plan a lot and order from different companies from their website and all. On Amazon it's not available every time, the stock gets over, etc. So I was thinking there must be some website like web portal like Amazon, like for vegan, Amazon for vegan, something like that, or Sattvic, something like that. And I just googled it and I found multiple websites actually which is actually doing that.
uh,
So it's just you have to search. Now it's like within seconds. I just you just have to do a Google search and you get it.
Even now, actually, because of this awareness, you will get fresher produce, and that is very important to have fresh food, healthy food, not processed food. Processed food is the first flag. Once you add preservatives and chemicals and all this, it doesn't remain anywhere close to the normal food that you can process. So
Yes. Now let's move to this food industry. Okay. So I would like to know your views. If what some magic happens and majority of the people start following either veganism or sattvic or something like that, plant-based diet. So what will happen? What disruption will happen in the dairy industry and the meat industry, and how what will be the effects on the economy?
see, I mean, dairy industry, I don't think will be affected because many of the people still follow milk-based diet. So milk is one of the predominant ingredient in many cultures. Okay, so now the question
Hmm.
is, ki, what will happen? You will have to develop a corresponding way of creating economic opportunity for all these people, and gradually when it happens, it you will move. People will not, demand will not evaporate in one day. If demand will evaporate when there is alternatives, and there are good alternatives, and there will be slowly you the demand will go away and people will shift. So that will happen. But most important aspect of it is going to happen to at the meat level first. How much meat? Even today, I don't think meat will go away. That irrespective of what happens, and humans will continue to have multiple sources of diet, and we cannot expect ki any source of diet should be banned, or it should be bad, or it should be you should move people away from any of the source of diet, because we, seriously speaking, we don't know. Okay, so it's not that we are aware. What we know for sure is processed meat is not good. That much we definitely know.
Processed food, any kind
Any
of processed
processed food is not good, but processed meat is even bigger problem, because the meat, the cells itself react, and then there is a X kind of.
and the funny part is we don't even read the backside of that box whichever we buy from any supermarket, and if we read, you will come to know there are so many kinds of chemicals. It is even hard to pronounce, like INS 32 something something like that. And
Yes.
uh, we still use it.
No, that is the main thing. Most of the processed industry food comes from lot of processing, and that processing is not like simple, like pasteurization of milk, which is basically heating the milk and then bringing it down. It is adding stuff to it, and when you add stuff to anything, even milk. Why is milk becoming a big problem? Because you are starting giving hormone injections to cows.
Hmm.
Now you have created some chemical imbalance in the body of the cow. Now the cow is producing that milk. He's going to have that chemical imbalance will be affected in the milk. You can't measure it because you are not looking for it. But some sort of
Exactly.
things will be there which affect you, and that has a downstream effect. Now go natural. The more you go natural, you will find that basic foods. Cows don't give milk throughout life. Okay, cows when they give birth to babies, only then they give milk. So which means you have to understand that you can't have a
Hmm.
whole shed of cows. I have 100,000 cows and one bull. It cannot be.
No.
There has to be
Okay,
some.
okay. Let's uncover this. This dairy industry works like this. Obviously, a cow will not give milk throughout whole life. Okay. So whenever there is a calf, it gives milk. Then the calf is taken away from the cow. Okay, and then it again it's penetrated either I think through a other bull or something, or there is artificial
No,
insemination done.
artificial insemination.
Huh.
No, no.
Artisan, yeah, it is very common now. Artisan. So can we say that it is nothing but like a rape, right? So that is done.
No, it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it
even the
whatever it is.
legal definition, if we look at, it is actually comes under rape. So that is done, and then it start giving milk. Giving milk again. There's a calf. Then there's a milk, and then what happens to the calf is it is sent to the slaughterhouses to make it into beef. So that is a cycle.
That is, see, the what again, you have to look at it as an industry. Once you make it an industry, you have issues related to an industry.
Yeah,
Okay,
as there
if
is
you make
demand,
free,
you have to create the supply.
no, if you make free range cows, or if you have a free range system, then you will have a separate. So you have your own cow, zero base farming. You do have your own cow and bull, and they will give you calf and whatever milk they give you, and then you will have all the system going on. You will have milk also. You will have no artificial insemination is required. It is normal, natural process will happen, and you will get whatever natural is there.
Yeah, and that is how our ancient homes were.
Yes, and even in Krishna's thing, it is mentioned in many times. You share the milk with the calf. You don't take the calf away.
Hmm.
So that's how it is done by those people. Now you want to do it, then you do it in the proper natural, whatever way. But then you can't create an industry where there are 5 million cows. In New Zealand, there are more cows than people, or more sheep than people, I think. But because that's what they do. But that's not possible. They can't do those kinds of things. So, but they have the industry where they eat beef, which is what they do. So, but then I told you, like Jordan Peterson, he only eats beef-based diet. He cannot, his body cannot. Otherwise, he gets into, he becomes sick.
Okay. Okay, I agree with that because that's obviously, I don't have to agree. It's a fact as you are stating it. So, but it is a rare case. Okay. And this has a huge evidence, 100,000 lakhs of people following it, plant-based diet, and we can see the benefits and the alternatives are there. Everything is there. So I don't think that must be compared with this.
No, I'm not comparing. I'm saying that you have to customize your diet to your body type. Okay. And within, like, every body type can't survive. Now, this is a unique case where he is only able to eat beef and nothing
Hmm.
else. But your body may be adapted or suited for 5 types of diets. Out of those 5, you take the simplest diet.
Hmm.
That's what what is simplest. Simplest means least processed. First of all, you remove processed foods, because the processed foods, once you remove, automatically half your problems go away. Then you try to go to the simplest sources of whatever nutrition you are looking for, and then within that you will be able to manage. Plus, once you select that diet, make sure that you have a holistic diet, so that whatever you are having is not unbalanced. So you are not having, completely acidic diet. That's also not good. You are not having completely whatever is the opposite, that kind of diet.
Hmm.
So even that is not good. Some people go completely fruits. I will only eat fruits. Don't do that, because that also is extreme. Anything extreme is not good. And that's what our things are Ayurveda is suggesting. Try to balance everything. So balance means not कि one day. So our idea of balance is one day I will have completely acidic diet and one day completely opposite. ऐसा नहीं चलता है. So that is not balance. That is complete imbalance on both sides.
Hmm.
So that is not what they mean. So they mean कि, have a variety which balances out, so that all the chemicals and all don't impact you. And that's what it is. And the suggestion that they have given is that the sattvic diet, or whatever is the most bland and neutral diet that they have created, or they imply that this is the most neutral diet, is suitable for most of the people, can be had by many people without having any unbalanced effect. So if you can have that, and that also you can't, suppose you say कि okay मैं सात्विक खाऊंगा, तो सुबह में ब्रेकफास्ट किया 10 o'clock, 1 second meal, 12 o'clock lunch, within 3 o'clock another meal. If you overeat, that also is not good. Then also it's not
Obviously,
sattvic.
obviously.
Sattvic diet also has to be had only 2 times a day or whatever specific times. So that also needs to be understood. So anything you overdo is not going to help, or anything you unbalance is not going to help. And then you realize on any research. So one research will come up saying that you are doing everything bad. You should not drink water at all. Water should come from food only. Okay. Second one is saying you should not eat food only. You should only drink water. All these kinds of research you have to take. This research needs. You can't have a research in one lifetime. That's the basic thing. Any diet or food related, nutrition related research has to be at least 60-50 years to understand why health effects are such, why a person who is eating this meat is getting these kind of diseases but not those kinds of diseases. Someone who is eating this particular fruit based diet is having these kinds of diseases but not that kind of diseases. So those are things that you have to be studied, and it can be studied in like 1 or 2 or 5 years. It has to be studied over 2-3 generations. Otherwise tomorrow people will start कि सबसे न्यूट्रल क्या है, पोटैटो किसी में भी डाल सकते हैं, तो उसमें पोटैटो बेस्ड डाइट ही खाएगा, बाकी सब क्या तेल लगा. That is also not true. That is also.
Yeah, exactly. And we need to have more startups and companies focusing on such stuff. Otherwise, these corporate wars will ruin everything.
Exactly. So you should actually, more effort is required to bring safer, saner, sattvic and unprocessed food, fresh food into convenience food. So fresh food, तुमको जूस मिलेगा तो तुम पिएगा. Fresh vegetables you can get, then you will have that. That is what we should focus on, and that will create at least alternatives for many people. As of now, what happens is many people eat bad food because they don't have alternative.
Yeah, but as we have discussed, if you find alternatives, you will get it. So if you really care about your health, guys, then you must find alternatives, and you can enjoy your food as well as take care of your health.
While listening to our podcast.
Yeah, while listening to our podcast. Yeah, so on that note, let's end this episode. Do tweet us whatever your thoughts are, and if you have anything to share with us, our Twitter handle is in the description below. You can go on Twitter, follow us, and tweet us whatever your thoughts are on this. And also follow us here so that you don't miss out a new episode. Thank you.
Thank you.